It was planned from before Kanato was even born that he was supposed to grow up miserable and with a broken mind. Karl-Heinz, his father, meant it to be that way. Kanato was also a very sensitive child. He is shown to cry easily, and his emotions appear quite fragile compared to his brothers in his youth. He got hit hard by the way his parents viewed and treated him, even compared to his brothers, simply because he was definitely a child who required a lot of love and care, which was never received. Kanato was neglected completely by Cordelia, as we know, and received little to no attention from his mother whatsoever. She refused to care for him or acknowledge him in the slightest, leaving him quite lonely and sad for most of his childhood days. Children that are not given proper care within this extremely crucial period of youth are more likely to have a hard time bonding and connecting with people later in life, and are shown to be more unstable and aggressive. Keep in mind, he never learned what it feels to be cared for by someone. He never received attention or affection. He doesn't know how to accept love or give it. Here come some of the specifics. Kanato's mother would order him to sing, and he states in the manga at one point that she would order him to sing until his vocal cords bled. This is extremely painful, and it also indicates that Kanato was willing to go this far for his mother's approval. Thus, he was desperate to receive love in return from her at one point. Kanato would mostly sing for Cordelia when she was engaging in sexual activity with Richter, which exposed the boy to a very inappropriate, toxic, lustful relationship and desensitized him quite a bit, destroying a lot of his innocence. A lot of people view Leto as the most sexual of the boys, but Kanato expresses some of the same mental after effects that Leto does due to the sexual abuse and exposure Cordelia inflicted them with. Cordelia also stated at one point that Kanato's voice arouses her. That's pretty sick to sexualize your own child, honestly. This is the only treatment he ever received from his mother. All he ever heard and saw from her were these things. And of course, as a child, he still longed for her approval. This is also part of the reason he keeps Teddy so safe and secure. It was the only thing his mother ever tossed aside for him to keep. There's a scene pictured in the More Blood manga with Kanato as a child. He's pictured standing out on the balcony facing his mother. His clothing and body are completely blood-soaked. He's dripping red and holding a knife in his hand. These were self-inflicted wounds. He cries out, "Mother, look, there's so much blood." This behavior was his desperate attempt to get her attention for only a moment. He wanted to be seen by her, rather than just used for his voice. Cordelia doesn't pay any mind to him and continues her time with Richter. Cordelia, aside from neglecting Kanato completely and forcing him to sing until his throat bled, only paid any sort of attention to him when he created a convenience for her. This is how the first ever Kanato doll was made. When Cordelia grew tired of one of her lovers, that's when Kanato made his first ever corpse doll, and she was delighted that he had exposed of a chore for her. So Cordelia highly encouraged this behavior in him. As he was obsessed in earning her approval, it's easy to see why such praise from her would immediately motivate him to make more as she had asked. He wanted to please and earn her affections, after all. However, this was just another way for her to use her son as a convenience and a tool rather than an actual living soul. So, that's the gist of what Kanato experienced in childhood. These experiences had direct effects on his future behavior.